Hi Capricorn, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. Your key to the week this week is the Emperor. This is about you stepping into your power, all right? This is going to be a week where you really are more in command of either a situation or yourself than you ever have been. I kind of feel like in a lot of ways though, and this is something that you guys are used to, it's something that, you know, kind of goes hand in hand with the Capricorn trope. This week you are stepping into either a leadership position or a position of power, or you're appointing yourself. I don't want to say judge, jury and executioner. At times it's been known to happen, right? Jokes aside though, this week it really does feel like you're starting to get a solid handle on your environment, and it's like you're really getting acquainted with the way that you are wanting to progress or process your life. The other thing with the Emperor card as well, remember this card can represent school, learning, studies. This is a week where a lot of you seem to be dedicating yourself to new information, new knowledge, new skills that you're taking on board at the moment. It's like you're starting to weave them into the fabric of your life so that they become more a present part of what you're doing on a day-to-day level. You've obviously, I mean, Capricorns always have a long-term goal. But you've obviously got something at the moment that you're working to, and I kind of feel like this week it's really you sitting in that space of dedication to it. For your, before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. Sorry, I'm seeing lots of, Okay, for your actions and options, you have the Chariot card. Okay, so this is great. This is about a personal success, right? Like something that you, so a lot of the steps that you're taking, maybe for some of you, this is a connection to or to overseas. I will say it does look like you're getting knowledge or information that's coming from overseas, and this could be potentially about either an important man in your life or somebody that maybe has been important to you at some time. This could be a friend, it could be a loved one, it could be a family member. It looks like there's information coming from across the way, let's say. And it's going to be about an important male or masculine figure in your life in some way, shape or form. Now, on a more personal level, that Chariot card does suggest that for some of you, this week you're taking time out, whether this is that you're taking time off, whether it's taking time to really focus on something that you feel is important to you at this time. It's almost like you're making time and space for stuff that really is important for you beyond what is important for everybody else. I really like it. The other thing is as well, you know, whenever we see the Chariot card, I'm always reminded that this is sometimes where we're conquering an aspect of ourselves. And with that Emperor, I think this is you learning to hold it's like learning to hold your sword. I don't know if you've ever seen the film Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but there's this whole thing about this sword and the ability or the power that it gives to everybody that holds it. And it's not really that it gives you a power per se. It's the way that it's built is so amazing that, you know, it enhances your own skills. But the first thing that you have to do with this sword is to learn to hold it in complete stillness. And this feels like that. It's like you're holding your own power this week, but not like with an iron grip with white knuckles. It's like you're holding it, you know, like you would hold a wand. It's Leviosa. Sorry, if you know that reference, then we can hang. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Five of Wands, right? So there is some competition, and this is something that unfortunately seems to go hand in hand with you guys. When you find yourself in the workplace, in the professional sphere, in the academic fields, you tend to have to prove yourself more than most, right? And it's one of the reasons that when you guys get to where you're going, you don't hold any punches for anybody else, because it's like, well, listen, I had to work to get here, so everybody else is going to have to go that same way. But what this tells me is you are overcoming this. So some sort of competition that you had. And if you've seen the November 2022 tarot scopes that I put up, this kind of dovetails really nicely into that. Because the feeling that I got from that was, it's like you're making an ally out of somebody that's been a problem or an issue or a bit of a stone in your shoe up until this point. And you're doing this because you're learning to wield or hold your own power without sort of forcing it. It's like this week there's a lot of natural energy here. It's like everything is flowing for you, and I like this. I want you to stay in this energy. The Five of Wands, like I said, when it comes to communications, be mindful of any conversation that has a competitive edge to it. Don't get into it. All right. Like when people are, oh yeah, you know, I'm earning this or I'm doing that or da-da-da. That's fine. Just, yeah, that's awesome. You know what? Good for you. Really chuffed for you. Don't get into it. Don't feel the need to raise the bar or anything like that. And, you know, I know Capricorn, sometimes you can be a little competitive. This week, if you can have a handle on that, I promise you it will serve you well later on. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this might be that you're in competition with one of your, not one of your peers, but one of your, not superiors, that's a really crap word, but it might be that you're having a challenge with a professor, a teacher, a lecturer, and it's because in a way you're kind of butting heads with them. They can't deny your brilliance or your knowledge, but at the same time they are the teacher, the lecturer, or the facilitator. So this is something that you're going to need to you know, find a way to wield your power gently. All right, when it comes to those of you that are employed by somebody else, again, if you refuse to step onto the stage when everybody's giving their moment, you will retain the power. It's like this week, the less you say, the better it's going to be for you. All right. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, or people that work for themselves, similar energy, only this week it's like whatever competition you have, you blow them clean out of the water. The only thing that I want to say to you here is, again, less is really more this week for you guys. It's almost like if you under promise and just say like, this is what I can do for you, flat, keep it clear, and then over deliver, trust me, that is going to be the way that you really, really wow people at this moment in time. And then finally, for those of you that are retired and no longer working, I mean, I really like this for a road trip, especially because of that Chariot card. I also really like this for maybe some of you are learning something that has a performance element to it. Maybe you're going to your first dance class. Maybe you're going to do something that has some, you know, some performance element to it. Maybe you're starring in a local pantomime. You know, we're coming into the holiday season. Maybe you're doing some kind of amateur theatre or dramatics or something with a dance troupe. Lots of that kind of stuff. Like if you've got the time for it, I encourage all of you to do it. But if, you know, some of you, it looks like you might even take this on formally. You know, it's like you do a short course in ... For your love and relations, you have the Ten of Wands. So one way that this can show up is when our partner talks at us and not necessarily to us. And this here, because you've got this Five of Wands, it'll just descend into a battle of wills. Be mindful of this week. And on top of that, look at this, right? You've got this right underneath the Chariot card. There's two ways that you can see this, right? Three, actually. One, this could be like either you or your partner is traveling away from home, or you find out that you need to travel away from home. Another way that this could show up is you have a battle of wills and it turns into a dispute. Or you can take the third option where you wield your power gently and just say, okay, you know what? We will agree to disagree. Thank you for your input. I'm just going to leave it at that. They might look at you like you've grown a second head. Right? Because usually you guys give as good as you get. But this is one of those times where really learning to hold, to wield, or to utilize your personal power in another way that's what's going to be really what turns heads this week. When it comes to your those of you that are single and looking, get out and about, right? Like if you're looking for someone, if you are single and you are ready to mingle, get out there. All right, like get out there, have some fun, get a little boogie on, all of that stuff. For your money and materials, you have the Ten of Cups. So what do we see straight away? We've got two tens. Two tens represents change, and it's usually a big change at that. This is a big change coming to your finances. It's a big change potentially coming to a relationship or a partnership. A relationship in terms of a familial connection, or it could just be, do you know what I mean? Like there's a few ways. So for those of you, when it comes to literally your money and your finances, the Ten of Cups is a great card because there are blessings here. There are financial blessings here, especially for those of you that have your own business, because it's like money is coming to you from what you're doing. And it will continue to grow. But for all of you, in some way, shape or form, this bodes very well for your money, especially if you're looking at growing it through institutions like banks, building societies, the hard and sort of solid places. Now, that being said, We do have a big full moon lunar eclipse taking place in the sign of Taurus. So read the room, read the articles, check to see what's going on before you start. You know, I'm not a financial advisor. Before you start chucking money into things or spaces, just be mindful. But that 10 of Cups, it suggests that you know, if especially with the 5 of Wands, like if you've got, and the 7 and the Chariot card as well, if you've got a little bit of grit, you know, to look and to move when the moment comes, you could do very well from this. You might see a really short window open up this week where you buy a certain stock at peanuts and then you see it jump like $50 in a day. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be something that it'll be really short-lived, but it will definitely be a welcome boost. For those, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is going to be your feet. As in specifically your feet, and there does seem to be a lot going on with movement and stuff, so watch out for the tootsies this week. And then finally, when it comes to your home and your environment, the 10 of Cups is beautiful. There's a few ways we could see this as well. This is warmth, enjoyment, love, creativity, joy, and it's shared abundance that's happening within the home. And sometimes that abundance isn't necessarily about money. Sometimes it's just about the fact that I've got all my people under my roof and actually everything is good at this moment in time. Done. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.